Yes, ma'am.
We have the distinct privilege of honoring someone who doesn't just promote our community, he embodies it. We are here to recognize and celebrate Foster Capel for his incredible 12 years of dedicated service to the Tourism Commission. 12 years is a remarkable milestone, for in that time, the world of tourism has evolved, but Foster's commitment has never wavered. He has been a champion of our local economy, a visionary for our growth, and quite frankly, one of our community's absolute best storytellers. Foster understands that tourism isn't just about visitors, it's about sharing the heart and soul of the place we call home. Foster, your insight and tireless advocacy and genuine passion for what have left an indelible mark on the commission. Well, 12 years of service is a grand milestone. The impact of your leadership will be felt for decades. On behalf of Plaquemines Parish, we want to say a profound thank you for 12 years of work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to say something?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you, first of all, for recognizing the work that we've done. It's been by a lot of people, though. It's not just me. We've had a lot of people who've been part of the Tourism Commission over that last 12 years and now 13 years. People like Braden and Paul and all of the folks in fishing and hotels and restaurants and everything else that makes Plaquemines Parish so wonderful. It's an easy place to promote just because of its natural beauty. We have resources and a place that's more unique than any other place that I've ever been, and I've traveled a lot. And thank you for recognizing the work we've done. And I hope to continue helping Plaquemines Parish promote tourism. I know that we've all learned a lot as tourists. When we visit other places, we see the culture and the people there and how they make their livings. And tourism is a very big industry around the world, not only in Plaquemines Parish, but around the world. And so we have, I think, one of the most unique places to promote and to sell. So it was not hard for me to do. But thank you so much. And I hope to continue serving Plaquemines Parish in the future. Thanks.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, Foster, I had the pleasure of serving on that board with you for many years. I think I started when we was in the Bell Chase Y. And it's really been an honor and a pleasure to watch and learn from you. You taught me a lot at that time. And, we grew to we were always friends, but became very close friends throughout that ordeal. And I just want to thank you very much because you did teach us a lot. We did get the tourism board up to speed where it needed to be. So with that, I appreciate everything you've done. And Carlton's got me thinking all kinds of stuff.
Thank you so much. Well, it's been a good time for me too. I've learned a lot as we went along.
I'd like to thank you for all the work you've done. I know sometimes we don't see eye to eye, but as Plaquemines Parish, I think we do. And I appreciate everything you've done for the parish.
That's no problem. No one ever sees eye to eye on everything.
Mr. Edwards.
I also want to thank you for service, and I especially want to thank you for the good news, because anybody can teach Mitch something, he's a bad dude. So obviously, I have to commend you I have to commend you. But thank you for the service that you provided for me. And I know when I was doing my research for my book, the information you give me was a great help, and I would be forever thankful for that information that you shared with me. So
you're welcome.
Wish you well.
It's been really wonderful for me to do it. I've learned as much as I taught people, if not a lot more, because you learn when you're in positions like that, if you're paying attention and you're trying to do it right. So I've learned a lot. And this, like I said, this parish it's been easy to promote. And that's one thing that I'll take with me. And I share everywhere I go about our parish. That's why people continue to come here, not only because everything that the Tourism Commission is done, but because of the nature of our parish. It's a wonderful place, and it's not hard to sell. So,
President Hinckley.
Foster, I just want to say thank you. You lived that life, and what I really do appreciate is the fact when we walk into Spirits Hall is the people that I've been able to meet throughout time. I mean, the Bass Pro Shop guy, the fishing folks and all. So like I said, you not only talk it, but you live it, and you do exactly what you're saying that you do. You represent Plaquemines Parish well when it comes to tourism. So just thank you.
Well, I enjoy doing it. Thank you.
Would anybody from the audience like to speak?
Hi, I'm Braden Young. I'm the Executive Director of the Plaquemines Parish Tourism Commission, and I just want to thank Foster for everything that he did. He was an incredible leader who worked so hard to make sure that our commission was doing the right thing to really promote and showcase the incredible place that Plaquemines Parish is. So thank you so much. Yeah.
If you could take a picture with us.
Y'all gonna vote?
I mean, we're only 5 minutes in. You're already sleeping.
It was that unanimous that threw me off.
I do. Yeah, take that. I got one. Oh, right here, Bob. You see the system say on it?
So, all right, thank you, Boston.
For administration updates.
Good afternoon. Got a couple, 2 or 3 items I want to talk about. First thing, there's been, questions on Highway 11 as far as the work that's being done. So I've got a report given to us from the engineering firm as to why and how things are being done. Highway 11 consists of multiple pavement types built and modified over several decades, including original concrete pavement, asphalt overlays, and full-depth asphalt sections. Over time, repeated overlays and roadway widening added weight to the roadway, contributing to ongoing settlement and cracking throughout the corridor. Many widened sections were constructed with asphalt directly on existing soil, creating inconsistent roadway conditions and long-term maintenance challenges. Because the roadway contains a mix of concrete and asphalt pavement systems, there is no practical way to fully tie all sections together without complete roadway reconstruction. Full reconstruction was evaluated, but was way beyond the parish's available budget for phases 1 and 2. The selective repair approach includes removing failed pavement sections and replacing them with a limestone base and full-depth asphalt pavement. The limestone base provides strong structural support similar to concrete pavement while reducing weight, construction time, and overall project cost. Replacing isolated sections with new composite pavement was not recommended because transition into existing asphalt pavement would still remain and would not provide a cost-effective long-term benefit. The project was designed to maximize available funding while addressing the most critical roadway deficiencies and minimizing disruption to local traffic. While not a full reconstruction project, the improvements significantly enhance roadway condition, safety, and long-term serviceability within the parish's financial constraints. I've got this report. I can share this with all of you. I can pass it on. And next, I've got a letter that we received, Kim received this week from Congressman Scalise's office. It says, "Hey, Kim, confirming receipt. It was great seeing you the other day as well. We have reached out to our contacts at the Corps regarding Parish President Hinckley's request to include the East Bank levies in the Emergency Rehabilitation Program. We will follow up with you as soon as we receive more information from the Corps." So this is great right here. So we are stepping forward and moving forward with getting this levy is the Braithwaite to White Ditch levy on the East Bank here. So this is a great step. We've got the ear of Congressman Scalise's office and the Corps, definitely with Colonel Otan. Session could possibly be over with today, tomorrow, and definitely by Monday at 6 o'clock. Got positive reports to report, but when the time comes, we'll be able to share just what we were able to accomplish this year up in Baton Rouge. It was another successful year, and like I said, I'll be able to share those numbers with you here in the next week or two. So that's it.
Any comments from the audience? Mr. Schultz?
Yeah, so I saw we doing the time clocks and everything. Do we have when that should be implemented? I know
We have
want-
tabled that,
we,
the administration.
okay. This was last week. Y'all sent out an email saying that was going forward. Now it's tabled.
Yeah, look, there's just too much. We will be coming back and addressing it in the future.
Okay. I thought that was a good thing okay, I yield.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, I want to go ahead and thank you, Kim, Ms. Buck, for all the hard work you're doing. I mean, what you accomplished this week alone is a milestone, and we really appreciate that. Y'all have been working very hard. You, Mr. Marco, the administration, all of y'all have been reaching out. Ashley, I want to thank y'all for getting the water park in Empire running, but it still has some issues, I heard. But at least we got water running through it the other day. Not to be used yet, but keep on it, try to get it done because another weekend's coming up. And, I get pounded on these weekends. Appreciate what y'all did in Burris by leaving that one unlocked. And I've asked the citizens when they use it to be sure they turn it off. But I appreciate everything y'all doing. Congratulations again, Kim, on this milestone.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, I was surprised that Mr. Brock didn't come up when President Hinckley mentioned the letter from Steve Calise because it's very historical in a lot of ways in terms of what we're trying to do, especially in terms of elevation, get rid of elevation. I mean, that is a key component of it. And so I was surprised that you didn't come up to Brock. And also, so I want to thank the administration, but the thankfully you okay, but I really have to thank Kim because I know that she was really the person behind that, but I know she's part of the administration. I also want to take the time out to thank the administration and Mr. Brock. I want you to hear this because we passed the legislation about the Sergeant Paul Northeast Highway, but it was just ceremonial. And I really want to commend Rennie in terms of having the staff actually getting together at the post office. And so in a little while, you're going to be able to Google Sergeant Paul Northeast. You're going to be able to Google Enos Camel and people, Amazon, everybody will be able to use that address. So I really want to thank the administration for those two major accomplishments.
Mr. Champagne?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to thank your pump operators and all for the significant work they've been doing with all the rain we've been having. Just talked to Billy about it, was thanking him. And he used the term saying they're unsung heroes, and they really are. Most people take for granted that we're at home sleeping at night. Those guys are manning pumps and making sure that our neighborhoods stay dry. So thank you so much for your crew out there doing that work. And a lot of the drainage work you've been doing for the past couple of years is really starting to pay dividends now because in my district, I know we've had no issues. So thank you very much. I yield.
Mr. Schultz?
One other thing. I know the bridge is a sore subject and the location of the flagpole is not the best, but can we get Plenary to put up a flag on the flagpole? I mean, it's been up for a while. I know that's Plenary's jurisdiction, I guess you'll say, or DOTD, but can we get them to put up a flag? Because coming home Monday on Memorial Day and there's no flag, it kind of stood out. I just noticed it. And then, I guess, Jeff, you got an answer?
Yeah, they just turned over ownership of the flag to us.
Oh, okay.
The fire department's gonna start taking care of that.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I have just one more thing. I appreciate the comments and the gratitude that you're showing towards the administration and Kimberly and all, but I tell you guys, when you see Senator Connick, Senator Carter, and Rep. Bro, those guys are really working hard for Plaquemines Parish, and they really are doing a great job for us up there in Baton Rouge. So let's give them some kudos along with what we're doing, because without them and the ability to do what they're doing up there, we wouldn't be being as successful as we've been these last 2 years here. So yeah.
Yeah, I heard the letter, but the cement base in the middle of Buras, they didn't have no, and I could understand it if they had to dig it up to change a culvert. But they broke solid concrete, tore it out in 2 spots. Now, the map that Dugas sent out to all of us, one was in front the Black Velvet. They did that one. The other one was in front the Delta Food Store, Blazers Hardware. They didn't do that one. They did in front of Buras High School, which wasn't supposed to be done.
Look, you all know what industry I was in for 40-something years, so I can't sit up here and talk like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to road repairs, but I can relay what I'm being told. And what I was told is the concrete base was failing. It's sinking. So that's why they were getting rid of some of that concrete in those areas and then just starting from a new base coming up. So that's about the best I can do. Right now.
Like, I'm just letting you know. And where them 2 spots was done, the deepest pothole in the blacktop might have been 1 inch.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the main base sinking, and where they extended the road was further up the road and down the road. And I know the shoulders sink, and that's why they were sinking. But if I didn't bring it up here at least 20 times and asked every one of y'all if we was keeping the milled work, and we all said yes.
Well,
And
Randy,
on another project, Ms. McCarty did a resolution saving the mud from that project. And it was brought up by Rennie that he was going to put it in every contract that the material stays with us.
again, here's what I've been told on this contract here. We're at the end of the day, I don't know if you've been in communications with any of us, but at the end of the day, is it 600 tons or
500 to 600 tons.
we're going to end up with asphalt material. But in the contract, they were able to keep the riprap. We really don't need to keep that concrete riprap because, look, we were trying to get rid of some that we've got just in the woods, and we were getting rid of it, and we're like giving away our assets, but we were not. We're just trying to clean up the parish and all. So, and that was that riprap that was coming up from here. It was just full of asphalt, concrete, the rebar and all of that. So they were saying, I've been told in that contract, by them keeping that riprap and doing whatever they do with it, I'm sure they sell it. We were able to get an additional $100,000 worth of work put towards this project here.
Because if we have need for riprap, because I know you get the letter from Mr. Pivac every couple months about Tidewater Road.
Right.
But that's,
Oh, no.
and wait, I got recreation. I know I'm old and I haven't played ball in a long time, but baseball's 9 people in the field, right? Why are we getting 10?
10 what?
4 outfielders and Well, no, it's 11, 12 on up. And it was decided by the coaches in Belchase to play with 4 outfielders, but the coach from Burris was never contacted and told anything about it.
I think someone contacted me about that earlier this week. I spoke with a parent about that and I told her I would check into it. I do know when a team is down a certain number of points, they do allow them to send an extra player out as part of the recreation rules, but I am looking into it. But there are no rules that Bell Chase just creates. I know that that may seem like that, and if I'm not there, like I told the parent this week, please give me a call. My cell phone number is everywhere. I don't have a problem with putting it out on Facebook so people can call me if there are issues. I'm not at every game, so I can't supervise every game, but there are no rules for one team. The rules are consistent across the parish.
But if we play in Dizzy Dean rules,
Yes.
9 players go in the field. And they wanted to do 10 with 4 outfielders. Then when the playoffs come, go to 9. And like I said, it's been many years since I played, but it was 3 outs, 3 strikes, 9 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, no 4 balls. And the Burris team said they had a 13-year-old wanting to play, and they was told no. But then there was a 13-year-old playing in Belchase.
Now, all this is speculation that parents are calling, telling me that other kids are a certain age. Like I told them, we do a lot of things on the honor system. We don't check every child's birth certificate. However, moving forward, before I came in to the council meeting today for our next sports, we will be requiring copies of birth certificates so that we can sign off to employees stating that we verified the birth certificates. But I can't take your word that, Council Member LaFrance's granddaughter's 13. If you call and say she's 13, but that's not your child, I can't just take your word to say that his granddaughter's 13. I would need to contact those parents. And the parents who are calling to report this do not have the name of the child that they need me to pull up. They just have a first name. They don't know the child's last name. So that's hard for me to pull from my system to figure out, a nickname, what this child's, name is and their actual date of birth. So I have been informed of that and I have been looking into that.
I'm just passing along what's been complained to me.
Yes, it has been
and-
complained to me as well.
And like I said, it's been a long time since I played rec ball, but we had to bring our birth certificate to the field on the first day,
Yes, well, we're going to start having them bring them into the office upon registration and we'll verify one time. So there is a new system that we will be rolling out to verify the ages. But like I said, we're going on the honor system
Got your
that
first
parents
base.
are telling us accurate information about their children. So that's where we are with that. And again, like I said, I can investigate, but if you're wanting to call and tell me that someone's doing something, if you don't want to tell me the name, how am I going to do the research?
I wasn't given a name.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah, I know. I had the same conversation, so
thank you,
you're welcome.
Mr. Edwards.
I have a question for recreation. Where we at in terms of the goalposts for the football field at the Reverend Griffin Playground? And the other thing is, we had a lot of problem with the equipment in the Reverend Griffin Center. It was totally removed. We removed it back into the gym area. And people are still calling me wondering, at one point it looked like I thought we had a system where people can use the equipment. But now we're getting a lot of calls for residents in terms of when they're going to be able to get back to using that equipment, because that's very key. We struggle to get that equipment in there, and to have the equipment in there not being used, and it's serving this service to the community. So what is being done? Because I think at one time with Patrick, somebody was coming at a certain time.
Yes.
It seemed like nobody is coming in. I'm getting a lot of calls about, how can people start using a lot of that equipment. So where we at with making sure that community people can come in and start using the physical equipment in the gym.
So we have I'll start with the flag posts for the football posts. Those are in. We're going to have someone
install those posts. They're a lot heavier than my team actually realized or thought that they could put them up themselves. So we're looking at having someone install those at the same time that they install the new basketball goals, the rims on the goals. So I did speak with my team and they need to have that work completed by June 15th. So all the work at Dave Ant Park should be completed or will be completed by June 15th unless we have some type of weather issues. As far as the gym goes, we were sending an employee to the gym. I think it was either 2 or 3 times a week in the afternoons. And we had him do a sign-in sheet. And on the sign-in sheet, some days no one would come. Some days 1 or 2 people would come. So as far as efficiency with having someone being paid to sit and no one come, I just did not feel like it was a good system for us to move forward this year with the fitness center. So we're working on coming up with another solution to get the fitness center open. I'm also hoping that we can utilize our lifeguards again during their schedules and their shifts to open the fitness center and just kind of watch it for a few hours and then close it when they leave. We also have a full-time clerk that is an adult that will be working at the pool as well. So she would be able to assist them with that. We're just working on getting those people onboarded through civil service now.
Thank you so much. And
You're welcome.
and thanks for the Dave Ant Park sign. It's a beautiful sign.
Oh, of course, you're welcome.
I yield.
We're gonna skip over 5A, well, we're gonna defer 5A, I'm sorry. And then we're gonna go to 7, building permits, 7A, construction permits, 7A1, Crescent Midstream LLC, application number 2026-433, application date 5/6/26, construct a 5.5 mile long, 16-inch diameter pipeline, Quarantine Bay, East Bank, Councilmember Edwards. CHS Inc., application number 2025-609, the project is to install 4 additional barge fleet tiers with mooring monopiles within the existing barge fleet near mile point 62, East Bank, Councilmember Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, you offer? Mr. Edwards offers. There a second? Second by Mr. Jurasich. Any questions from the audience? Administration, council, machines are open.
I was gonna say, Mr. Brockman.
We already voted. We already
We
voted.
voted already. What was the vote? You took it off? 7 with 1 abstention. 7-0-1 with 1 abstention.
B, Debbie Stewart, new trailer residence in FP zoning district 133 Gerard Street, Port Sulphur, Louisiana. Cheryl Burris, new resident in FP zoning district 109 St. Rosalie, Port Sulphur, Louisiana.
Mr. LaFrance offers and Mr. Jurasich seconds. Any questions from the audience? Administration, council, machines are open. It passes 8-0.
8, introduction of ordinances and resolutions.
The first 2 introductions are for Councilmember Konovich, a resolution authorizing the parish president on behalf of the Plaquemines Parish government to name and accept the proposal of the Plaquemines Gazette as the official journal for the parish, for Plaquemines Parish Council and all other political subdivisions and districts situated therein, which the Plaquemines Parish Council is the governing authority. An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvement plan, repairs, Duvic Pump Station project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The next 2 are for Councilmember Schultz. An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan, repairs, fire stations parish-wide project, and the new construction fire training facility project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance temporarily prohibiting parish-wide the acceptance of new permit applications for certain billboards and outdoor advertising structures, pending review and consideration of proposed amendments to the Plaquemines Parish Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance. The next one is for Councilmember LaFrance, an ordinance to repeal the $7 mosquito control fee and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And finally, Councilmember Champagne, an ordinance declaring certain immovable property owned by Plaquemines Parish government as surplus and no longer needed for parish public purposes, authorizing the private intergovernmental sale of said property to the Plaquemines Parish School Board pursuant to LARS 33:4712, authorizing the execution of a cooperative endeavor agreement, active sale.
We're not going to introduce that today. I'm sorry.
Okay. And that is it for introductions.
Would you like to go over the agenda?
Does anybody have anything to withdraw or defer?
Mr. Champagne, we're going to withdraw E at this time, correct? Yes, sir.
What you got, C?
We're going to defer 9A1, and if it falls off, I don't think it would. We'll defer that one more time. Mr. Tuesday is still working with Entergy and all of the other utility companies. The holdup, I mean, we more or less agree on the agreement. The holdup is the excavation issue. And we're relooking at that ordinance and we're trying to come to a consensus. And so
I could introduce for, I'll go with it for discussion only, huh?
I'm sorry, say that again one more time.
Can I go with it for discussion only?
Well, that's up to you. Yeah. If you, I mean, yeah, of course, if you want to go for a discussion, but I was just trying to give you an update. We had met, I forget which council members were in the room, but we had Ms. McCarty and we had pretty productive conversation. Like I said, the only sticking point right now is the excavation ordinance and how that applies, but go ahead and make your comments if you like. I mean,
I could do it now, yeah. But
huh?
I could do it now. It's already introduced. It's number one.
You're the chairman, whatever you want to do.
But I'm not ready to vote on their contract until I get every light in Plaquemines Parish working.
Until you get what?
Every street light in Plaquemines Parish working. I went and did them again a couple months ago and the paint's already faded off the cement. 97 from the bridge to Venice and another 120 coming back. Just in District 9 on Highway 23. That wasn't counting the side streets, the old road, the river road.
Right.
That's just in one district.
So we brought that issue up in the meeting, so I don't want you to think we're ignoring it. And they were supposed to provide us a plan, is my recollection. I haven't received the plan, but Mr. Tuesday has been working with them. But, and they also were going to come for the actual adoption of the franchise agreement. But I think based off your comments, we need to have a meeting with you. We'll ask Entergy to have a meeting with you and anyone else so that other council members can express any concerns they have. I think that's more than fair.
Because I met with, what's the commissioner's name?
Yes, the Public Service Commissioner?
Yeah.
Scrametta?
Scrametta.
Yeah.
And he contacted Energy.
Yeah.
Energy called me and wished I would have never did that. And I told him, if you'd have did the 200 lights I had out on just one road years ago when I told you that, I wouldn't have had to call him.
Right. Okay. Well, I think obviously your request is legitimate. I'm going to ask Jock to reach out to their folks and we'll schedule another round of meetings. And we'll send a poll out to see who's available when, and we'll have it down here in Port Sulphur if you like.
Because we all paying for them street lights to be on. We pay the electric bill, I'm sure.
I understand your concerns.
Thank you.
So if we could,
We defer on that one.
yeah, defer that.
All right.
Councilman Schultz?
Councilman Schultz.
But no, I was going to go through some things that has your name on it.
Yeah, I was going to read. I got them.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So we're going to defer.
Are we through with the energy?
Yeah, well,
Unless you have comments.
discussion only, I think is where we're going to go when it gets there. Because I think Mr. Champagne went. We're going to defer F, J, K, and L will be withdrawn. F, J, and K, L will be withdrawn, and eventually B will be deferred also, but I want to do that one for discussion too.
D. D. Oh, G is dog?
I'll go over.
It'll fall off if it's deferred.
Okay, then, no, Oh, yeah, then, well, I want to discuss it,
but
so I guess we'll see at that point.
Ms. McCarty,
On,
we'll go over them again.
okay, all right. Just now. Okay. I got you. All right. Okay.
Ms.
I
McCarty,
had put my name in for a comment about Entergy, but
Oh.
are we coming back to that?
yeah.
Okay. I learned that C will come to us for free if we have a storm, so I'm withdrawing that.
Mr. Champagne, you got a deferral, you just want energy? Yeah. Okay. B deferred, C withdrawn, E withdrawn, F deferred, J deferred, K deferred, L withdrawn. And- Yeah. Go with A1.
An ordinance authorizing the parish president to enter into a franchise agreement with Entergy for the right and privilege to supply electric power and energy throughout Plaquemines Parish and the rights to acquire, construct, operate, and maintain such plants, structures, transmission lines, distribution systems, and equipment as may necessary for the generation, production, transportation, distribution, and/or sale of electric power and energy throughout the parish, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer for discussion only. Do I have a second?
So
Second by a bunch of people. Ms. McCarty. Okay, Mr. Champagne.
We need, I recommend, in line with what you say, that lights need to clearly be written in from somewhere within lines 28 through 43 on this ordinance, because it doesn't say lights. It has, they can do maintenance, they can fix masts, supports, wires, cables, transmission lines, conduits, conductors, sustained distribution centers. Don't say lights anywhere. I want lights in here. If we're gonna sign a 30-year contract, that's gonna outlive me. We're about to sign a contract for 30 years. I'm not gonna be in 30 years.
I will.
I hope so. Well, I hope we all are. But if we're gonna obligate ourselves to a contract with these folks, I think it needs to be a granular level of detail, and we can hold them accountable. So if it says lights, you're not doing lights, we really got a problem. Because right now, if the other contract reads like this one, they can just blow you off.
Yeah. Like
I don't want that
been.
to happen.
Yeah, and we haven't sent you guys a revised actual contract yet because we're still working on all the terms. So, but I hear the message, and I will make sure Mr. Tuesday includes that in the final document. Energy actually wanted to just go off of an ordinance, and I insisted that we actually do a full-blown agreement so that we can be precise instead of just doing the general language that other parishes have done. So that is to our benefit. I hear the need. We will send a poll out again, and anyone who wants to attend that meeting can.
And another thing, while we're talking about that, recently they sent out a notice, and many of you got it. So they were going to do a controlled outage at 5 a.m. in the morning to 8 a.m. That's like the absolute worst time. People are getting up to go to work, sending their kids to school, and you're going to cut the power. We have elderly who need lights to be able to maneuver in their house, so the lights are going to be off. When they could have done it after 8 o'clock, when everybody's at work, everybody's at school, you have ambient lights so the elderly can see in their homes. You know, it's ridiculous that they have zero compassion or consideration for the people that are footing the bill. So we need to have something in there where they have to coordinate this stuff and be approved by some leadership. The administration or somebody has to approve this. You just can't arbitrarily say we cut the power.
Yeah,
Because people have medical devices. They may be doing home dialysis or something. They have to plan for this. And at 5 o'clock in the morning when they're sleeping, it's not good.
And President Hinckley did address some of those concerns in the meeting with them. And it's my understanding Mr. Tuesday is addressing them. But once again, I would like, because of all these concerns, y'all get the calls, I don't. So I am going to recommend another meeting. And obviously 4 of you are welcome to attend, and we'll do it in Port Sulphur. So Southern folks can also join. So if you're available and want to come to Port Sulphur, then please do so.
And lastly, they do a good job of telling us power's out. Well, we know it's out. We're living it. We know it's out. Well, tell me what happened. So we kind of know after the fact when it comes back on. I'd like to know, because I know my other 8 constituents have to explain to their people, hey, the power is up because a transformer blew up or a car hit a pole. Just let us know. because she'll let you know when you don't pay the bill. So let us know what's happening so we can get feedback to our people. I yield.
Ms. McCarty?
I had requested some lights to be put up in District 5, and DJ Taylor said that he contacted me wanting more information about it. So I understand why there's a delay in that. But the other comment that I have is that Plaquemines Parish produces energy. We are an energy parish. And this contract is for 30 years. And so in the room, they agreed verbally that this parish residents, companies would be able to sell power back to Entergy, because within 30 years, we know that's going to happen. So can we look to have that put in the contract as well?
Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Schultz?
Yeah, I want to feed off from what Mr. Champagne said about planned outages. They did one, or were supposed to do one, 5 a.m., 8 a.m. during exam week. I get it. That stuff needs to be done. But during exam week, when we have kids going to school and they can't get ready and start their day off right during the most critical time, fourth quarter exams. I don't think it actually happened that day because the night before, power went out on clear sky. Again, I had to get information from third-party sources on what actually happened. It was outside of Plaquemines, but it knocked out half of Belchase. But then they did the planned outage a couple days later, but didn't tell anybody on that one. So I get things happen and all that, but we need to have better communication and better planning when this stuff happens, because it does impact our residents. It does impact, I mean, when power goes out at, what time was it? Like 7 o'clock, I think, in the middle of the night, or not middle of the night, 7 o'clock. And that was during exam week 2. And kids can't study because it's getting dark and everything. We have no clue. Residents call us, well, what's going on? I'm like, this is what I know from people in Jefferson Parish because it hit the Berman station and all that. So if when y'all have that meeting, if I can come this time, I will, but we need better. I know it's outside administration's control, but Entergy needs to do a better job.
So what we can, just in hearing what you're saying, is that in this contract is the fact that we can, the notification on outages, and just the communication aspect of things there. So we can, I can talk with DJ also, as far as, I'm sure they have scheduled outages. So if there's a calendar that they work off of, I will talk to DJ and see if there's some kind of program. I know, there's emergencies, but then there's maintenance, and when maintenance is going to happen. So, yeah. All right.
Mr. Edwards?
Again, I would highly recommend the next meeting you come, because I had a chance to go to that meeting and share the part with lights. The other part is Mr. President talking about the maintenance part of when they come in and how they set up in terms of the sheriff department being notified, and where they're setting up and how much a road. So those things was taken up in that meeting. So I highly recommend that the next meeting, the council member sure got to come to that meeting. I think,
And that's a good idea, Reverend Edwards. So maybe instead of the Port Sulphur meeting, I'm assuming you're going to attend the next meeting in Belchase. We'll ask them to come to that meeting and they can, hear from all of you.
I've talked to Mr. Taylor numerous times over
Yeah.
the last 7.5 years.
Right.
And I went out 4 times and walked every light.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it no more.
We're holding paperwork up right now, so I think we have a little bit of leverage.
Mhm.
again, and when was the last time we had a discussion on this contract before that meeting?
99 years.
99 years.
So, and hey, that's one of the reasons the legal department, we, and the president, thought 30 was appropriate. So, I mean, obviously 30 is a long time, but it's not 99 either. So,
Well, that's the max we could go on a contract is 30 years, huh?
What they were looking for was they wanted multiple 30s to get it to that 90.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen.
No. Mr. Jurasich?
Yeah, to comment on Councilmember Champagne's, I call pretty much when we get an outage or see an outage, somebody reporting an outage, I make a phone call, and I usually get a phone call right back with what's going on. And I suggest maybe y'all get on the phone and call You do? Well, I mean, I know I get called back and, you know, they get to the bottom of it, so I can at least share it. I know Miss Nancy had an issue not long ago, and Rajani on the spot, they called us back and took care of that issue, so.
You're calling him?
Hey,
Hey, I posted it in their neighborhood. What happened?
so anyway, you know, I think, but I do want to commend Energy for what they're doing, especially in some of the hard hit areas of the parish. They're armoring our electric, looks like with all these metal poles going up and all. I think they're making us more resilient for any time we have a disaster. So we have to appreciate that as well. Because I've gotten phone calls about these metal poles. Some people weren't happy, but when I explained, it's to make you more resilient to keep power flowing. So I just want to say that, you know, they are doing some good stuff for us.
Okay, next item. All right, come on up.
I couldn't see you behind the podium.
Yeah. Arthur Henry, Bell Chase. When you say the street lights, that covers the entire parish.
The 200 I marked is just in my district.
Right. So that's a big expense. The second question I got is, if Energy got the contract, do they subcontract the street lighting deal out, or what's the deal there? You know, and then who's gonna be held responsible? If my street light out, yours out, who we call Energy or the subcontract?
Energy comes,
I
energy.
just wish you guys, when you have that meeting, discuss that for the people.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, 'cause that's important, man.
Any other comments? Next item.
2, an ordinance to levy millages on the 2026 tax roll on all properties subject to taxation by Plaquemines Parish government and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll off ask for a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any questions from the audience? Administration? And I was gonna ask for any, but this is just a renewal. That's it. We're not adding no new taxes, anything. Any questions from the council? Machines open. It passes 8-0.
B, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Public Health Fund operating expenditure budget, ambulances, general department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
Mrs. Schultz offers for discussion only. I'll second. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Mr. Schultz?
What are we doing? I mean, last meeting I couldn't make it because I was in Baton Rouge for the port, but you asked me to defer it or originally withdraw it, then defer it. We talked about plan. I know there's other studies that's been done. What are we doing with this? Because it falls off. That's why I'm asking. Do we need to
The thing
reintroduce
is,
it?
We need to, you had made reference, or one of you made reference of someone else.
Jefferson Parish, yeah.
Okay, if we could get those names, so we can let this fall off.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna go out for RFP?
Yeah, we can do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that, well,
Mr. Jurasich?
Yeah, I have a copy I'll leave with y'all,
Okay.
of the other one that was
Yeah.
sent.
Deferring or withdrawing? Next item.
C, an ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvement plan, building 1004 renovations, EOC 911 Call Center project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
Mr. Schultz? Councilman Champagne, wrong one.
Sorry, they look alike.
Yeah. oh, Mine's got yours on it. Mr. Champagne offers there a second? Second by Mr. Newsom. Mr. Jurasich. I'm losing my mind. Any questions from the audience? Uh-huh.
Arthur Henry, Councilman Champagne, do this conclude the funding we need to do the renovations? Not at all, huh? How much
Well,
You're on.
No, there's the par, we have to contribute some of the parish already has some money in an account. We got this through capital outlay funds. So it should come close. But again, it's one of those things as you build on it and the longer we wait, the costs continue to increase. We should be very close. And correct me if I'm wrong, from the administration, I think we're pretty close with this.
no, after this session, we've got the 1.9 from the sale of the Popich building. We got 2 million last year. We got another 2 million this year. So we're sitting with almost $6 million for the EOC. So we're ready to roll.
Okay.
So we need to move forward on this so that we can put this out to bid, because the Popich building is supposed to be going under renovation. So we're on a tight timeline here to expedite things.
I'm for it.
This is going to be,
I'm for
this
it.
renovation is going to be probably like a year long, so.
Mr. Schultz. Any more in the public?
So my question is, which I get what's going on here, is we have the 911 capital outlay fund. Set aside. Can we not take it out of that instead of taking it out of general fund?
I called Ms. Morel and asked her about that. And she said the other funds were going to be tapped out based on some other obligations. So we did have that conversation. She said she would take a look at it, but right now, this is where she wanted. She felt comfortable leaving it here. So I did have that conversation with her earlier this week.
Oh, okay. I yield.
And to explain this, I know Mr. Newsom had questions just to cover it, and I called Patrick Harvey to get some more explanation on this, and he explained it that, the PPG received $2 million in capital outlay funding for the EOC Center. The state of Louisiana required $75,000 for an administrative fee, an additional $25,000 for an advertising and additional fees. So basically, they clawed back $100,000. So we're paying $100,000 back and getting $1.9 million. So that should answer your question that you had last week. And again, I needed to find out. This is kind of new to us because it's the first time we're getting capital outlay money in quite a while for this type of operation. So a little discovery learning here, but that's it. We have to give back $100,000 to get $1.9 million to go towards the EOC.
Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Schultz, I'm not gonna say this too loud, but I do agree with you. The aspect of where the funding should come from. Because currently, as with the financial report that got sent out yesterday, I believe, currently in the building 1004 renovations, EOC 911 call center project, we have $2,081,975 from that fund. So I think I agree. I'm gonna make an amendment for this legislation to change the funding source where it's coming from. I want to, on line 5, I want to remove general fund, unreserved, undesignated fund balance, and add the building fund 1004 renovations EOC 911 call center project fund. And I offer that as an amendment and ask for a second.
Mr. Newsom offered amendment. Does he have a second?
Right.
Does he have a second? I'll second. Any questions from the audience about the amendment?
Go ahead.
Can you say in layman's terms what you're doing?
So we're taking the $25,000. We're taking the $25,000 instead of the general fund out of the 911 building fund, which we have $2 million, over $2 million in that fund.
Here, listen to what Chris's explanation here.
I don't have the budget, so I can't look.
Yeah, that you sent it out Wednesday.
You're in.
All right. It's not a fund, it's the project. And the thing is, that was the Popich money, which we can use. That was the whole purpose of the Popich money going into that project was for matching. which is why I was asking the question, why aren't we taking the 25,000 from that project instead of general fund, taking it from that project and using what the Popich building sale was intended for? It's still 911 money going. I mean, I don't have a problem with the ordinance. It's just, it's not a fund because the fund is different than the project.
Correct.
It's still under the general fund, but it's project. Does that make sense, Rennie? Does that answer your question? I think I agree with it because that was the whole purpose of the Popich money. And we might still need to come back later and add money to that project if we're short. But I mean,
We can't, tell me I just heard something about $6 million.
I mean, maybe
That fund.
I know I didn't talk to Miss
We
Morrell.
can't cut $25,000 out of $6 million.
I did not talk to Miss
Okay.
Morrell, and that's
And
why.
this is from Mr. Morrell here. It's like, we cannot do that. They need all those funds to go to be able to put this out to bid. So if we start pulling monies from that project, then that has an
Okay.
effect on being able to go out to bid right now. Now, later on, we can come back once the project's finished and there's 25,000 sitting around left over, we can appropriate back to the general
They
fund.
automatically will do.
time.
Yeah.
We have taken funds out of this project.
Okay, but
Again,
it wasn't ready to go out to bid.
Okay.
It's ready to go out to bid right now. Let the bids come in, see what they are, and then we can move appropriately.
I'll withdraw.
I'll
I'll withdraw my
I'll-
amendment.
I'll withdraw my second. Any other comments on the original, Ms. McCarty?
Well, I'm pulling up the budget right now, and I agree that we should stay with the way it was. We still have 132,876 in the unreserved, undesignated after this. So without having other conversations, I'm just going to agree with the way it is now.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, I gotta say, how much money is 25,000 will bring us possibly?
I don't think anybody. No.
No, I'm just saying, I look at return on investment. If I'm gonna give $25,000 and I'm gonna get 2 million, I think that's a great return on investment. So that's what we need to be looking at, focusing more on that kind of stuff than nitpicking some of these little things,
Mr.
I
Newsom?
responded that it's not nitpicking, it's where the funding source comes from. We have a funding, a project set up for this. As Councilman Schultz said, we sold the Popich building for this project specifically. And we can't take $25,000. I just heard from the administration, we're going to get $6 million for this whole project. Eventually, not today. We don't have that today. I do agree. We probably got about 4 million today, right now, with monies that we got last year in the sale. So that's kind of where I'm going. It's not about, I do agree, we need to spend the 25,000. It's about the source of the funding, where it's coming from. And that's what I'm saying.
Reverend Edwards?
And so my understanding, based on the last comment that Mr. Hinckley made, the issue is the reason why we can't get to 25,000 because it went out to bid. If it went out to bid, then we could have did the $25,000.
If we didn't have the project ready to go for bid, out to bid, yes.
Okay.
But we're ready.
Mr.
So
Schultz?
the reason why they don't want to take it from there is because they want as much in there where we can go out for bid basically come next week or the following week. Once we get the state funding, once we do this and the state funding all comes through, we can go out for bid and start the project as soon as possible. I just had a question and that makes sense now. And that's why that's fine. But I was just I was explaining where the project, what I was talking about with Popich building, but that's why they don't want to take it from there because they need as much money in there to go out for bid.
If the project runs short, then we're going to have to delay the project
Correct.
another month. to
So
come
we
back
need to
with
get this project going because we're entering hurricane season.
How many square feet is this building?
10,000.
How many square feet was my civic center in? And it went way over budget, right? So we gotta. Question's been called. Machine's open. And it passed 8-0.
G, an ordinance to amend the 2026 general fund operating expenditure budget grants administration department and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember McCarty.
Ms. McCarty, you offer?
So we're down to G, okay.
Do you offer?
Hold on a second.
Yes, please
Yes,
offer.
yes, I do, yes.
Ms.
I just have to
McCarty
make sure
offers.
I'm on the right one.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Schultz. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council?
So this is the same situation. In order to receive a grant, we have to pay a certain portion of that grant. That's from what I understand. No? What did you have? You sent out a letter today, Rennie.
Yeah. Did anybody read it?
Breathe.
Essentially, it's similar to what was the other grant we got for the Medal of Honor?
Oh, the military JCC.
It's related to the Department of Defense grant. So because we have a DoD, well, I guess Department of War now, installation, there's all kind of federal grants that support that cause. And so essentially it's a grant to improve the infrastructure and the flow, and it's primarily related to Barrier Road. So one of the grants is more or less tied to traffic and roads, and then the other grant is called an installation readiness program, and that application would focus on resilience concerns involving parish infrastructure and the military mission, including potential issues related to water availability and consistency, sewer operation, stormwater management, drainage, logistics infrastructure, the transportation network, and communications. So also a part of this application may also support pre-construction efforts for Barrier Road. The funding instructions for the program have not yet been released, so the final application details will be determined once the instructions become available. But long story short, we can apply for up to $20 million in grants. The problem is the application is due at the end of the month, and it is an extensive grant. And so if we don't hire somebody to do it, to get on it now, we're going to miss the opportunity for $20 million.
I get it. So we're paying ELOS to write the grant.
We're
for us.
tasking ELOS to write two very complicated grants in a very short window.
And this will benefit District 5 and in the long run. Everybody, yeah, because we might go all the way eventually further.
Well, yeah, I think it'll eventually tie into
Walker Road.
to Peters Road. Yeah.
Mr. Newsom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good deal. Is there a perspective on a match will there be a match for this if we get awarded this grant? And you might not have the answer. I'm just saying a perspective.
Here's the thing, even with the previous, if you recall, there was a match, but the military, they took it upon themselves to handle the match. So
we paid $600,000.
We
paid $600,000. This body paid $600,000 for
So
it.
there could be a potential match on it.
But that was for the $600,000 was for
It was
for the
gonna be
part and the pumping station.
20,000 or
So
1.2 million.
yeah,
And look, and if you read the email, she clearly explains this doesn't obligate us to accept the grant. So if the matching funds come in and it's unacceptable to us, well, then we just don't move forward with the project. So we're not by making the application, we're not obligated to accept it. But once, if we do get awarded it, then you all need to consider whether or not the $20 million is worth a $1 million, $2 million match.
right. And my next, I know ELOS. ELOS is currently the parish's grant writer, correct?
It's ELOS, but it's really her name is Lacey, and she's an expert in this area. So she works under ELOS, but
Okay.
she's contracted by them to do this work.
Okay, so ELOS's current contract doesn't cover doing this work?
We would run out of money, so we would use up all the money. This grant is very specific, it's very complicated, and it's going to eat up $70,000. So what we wanted to do was get the money appropriated, let them pursue it, and let them continuing working on all the other grants throughout the year. If we take all the money now, we're going to have to come back to you in a month or two and ask for more money, and it just didn't make sense in this scenario to do that, especially since the grant is so significantly large.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Schultz?
And to answer the question, if I remember right, on the last grant we did, military picked up most of the matching, but there were certain aspects of engineering that they couldn't pay for under federal guidelines and stuff. And that's what we had to pay for our share matching. So we don't have an answer yet on the match because it's not a typical grant where it's a set percentage. We might have no match. We might have 200,000. We don't know until we get to that point.
And some of it was for the pumping station.
Correct. And you still reserve the right to not accept the funding.
Reverend Edwards.
Just just $70,000, that's the total amount to do the grant?
To write both grants, yes.
Okay. It's kind of cheap, huh?
Any other questions?
Huh?
Machines are open. Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item.
H, an ordinance to amend the 2026 manpower structure and the operate and expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Mr. Champagne offers there a second. Second by Mr. Jurasich. Any questions from the audience? Administration, up, you coming up? Come on.
Wait, did y'all vote on the?
8-0.
Parents Block 156, Enos Camerland. This is a raise for firefighters, right?
No, next one.
H.
I know we've jumped
All right,
around.
sorry about that.
That's all right. Stay right there.
Reverend Edwards.
Yeah, my question is, and I haven't talked to Juna, is this for a specific period of time? Or this is going to be the fee for that person working?
Well, this is an interim person who eventually will be an engineer for the parish. Because Ken Dugas, he's fixing to retire in like about, 16, 18 months here. So,
It keeps changing.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Mr. Jurasich.
Yes.
The engineer,
Mr. Jurasich.
Okay, I agree with making moves like this because when we're losing a seasoned veteran, you want to bring someone early enough so that they can train along with the group. So I agree with this.
This intern position, the intern is required to stay in this position, to be an intern under an engineer, a licensed engineer for 4 years. They've had some 4 years.
It's part of his certification.
Right, they're interning towards their certification as a licensed engineer. So it's for a minimum of 4 years. Some interns have taken longer, have stayed in that position for longer. So this is a long-term position, much needed.
Any other comments? Machines are open. Passes 8-0 since Mitch approved it.
I, an ordinance to amend the 2026 manpower structure and operate and expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
Mr. Schultz offers there a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any comments from the audience?
Parents Block 156, Enos Camerland. I see this is going to be a pay raise for the firefighters, all paid firemen. So the question is that going to be enough to give everybody a decent raise, or are we going to do certain people get raised, or is all across the board?
Mr.
So
Schultz.
this is a recommendation from their civil service for 6%. It will raise across the board under civil service rules. Everybody gets 6% raise, and it's to keep them competitive with the starting salary for firefighters in the area, to keep us competitive, to have people come here and where we can have fire protection.
Right. I want to add to it, but I don't know if it's going to be part of it. Can it also create a position that we could take care of, like Perna for example, is Phoenix is 10 miles from Perna, and we got Phoenix don't have the protection that they need. So any kind of way we get some funding to get their little substation back in order and back.
That would
back to
be
work.
I mean, this is for a raise. If we needed to create manpower positions, that will go through Jeff and Superintendent Butcher if they need to create, but the raise, I mean, if we hire somebody to go there, yeah, their raise will be impacted by it. But yeah, that would have to be a separate ordinance, creating a position and funding and all that. But that would have to come through administration and
Right.
superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. But I'm gonna get with everybody.
Oh, wait. I'm running this meeting. You finished?
Yeah, I was answering his question, but it's basically saying that was approved by their civil service.
I said thank you, Mr. Schultz.
Reverend Edwards.
You did say you was finished. Okay.
Yeah, I did say thank you. Mhm.
Can I go now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. No, after we had our conversation, I had to call Mr. Busher about the whole Phoenix substation, look at what it would take to make that operation, on it. So we did have the conversation. And so we still got to finish that conversation around what it would take to do that. We had an issue around that little fire truck for its capacity. So we did have that conversation after I had the conversation with you.
Yeah, I agree with the truck is not it's not big enough. It don't have enough water. But once we hook up to the hydrant, we got water. But the thing is that we better than having nothing. A little truck can make a big difference.
I know, and that's what we said.
Other than nothing, right now Phoenix is not covered. It's not being covered.
You done?
I'll get with
Ms. McCarty.
with all the people in charge.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Brock, that's not the issue that we're talking about right now. Right now, it's to offer a 6% raise for civil service employees. So, for instance, if you were earning $40,000, you would get a raise of $2,400.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
Okay.
It's good. But I'm gonna get with everybody that's in charge and see if we get some coverage in Phoenix. Thanks.
Thank you. I got one question. Did they get a raise when their parish employees got a raise? Mr. Schultz.
I'll actually, you talking about the 1%?
Well, didn't they get 3% at the beginning of the year?
They got their
4%,
merit. They got their
4%.
merit at the end of the year, just like every other civil service. And then the 1%, I don't know. They got the 3%, the merit, correct, Ms. Taylor? Well, Ms. Taylor's answering right now, and they did not get the 1%.
Thank you.
Overhanded belt cheese.
Hey, I think the fire department across the board, they should get a 10% raise.
You gonna pay more taxes,
You don't
Mr.?
realize that till your house catches fire.
I agree. I do. I'm volunteer.
Any other comments?
Jonathan Butcher, 216 Good News, Belchase. In essence, I had a big old spiel written down. It sounds like we obviously have the chief and constituents on our side. Mr. Henry, we appreciate that. Basically what this is, firemen make $13.33 an hour starting out. Okay, that's the starting pay for firemen. If you look at what other parish employees make, an EMR who goes to school for 48 hours to drive the ambulance, $13.60. Our counterpart as EMT, right? I mean, we can say 1 and 1, $15.20. We make $13.33 starting out. What we're doing, we're hiring employees, we're losing employees, they're gaining experience, they're going elsewhere because they have opportunities to make more money, a better benefits package, and we can't offer that. So we're just respectfully asking, this will help us retain employees, help us get us where we need to be, where we can be consistent with other departments. And with that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, sir. Key in.
Let me get in.
Yes.
Good?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, Mr. Butcher, what I'm trying to understand, do firefighters where they work at have determined their pay raise, their hourly rate?
No.
Okay, because I know unless I'm looking at the sheet wrong, I was looking at certain location, the wages and salaries are different based on the firehouse on the sheet I was looking at. When I look at Pearl Head, Bell Chase, I'm looking at salary 16,000. Okay.
It might be the employees, how many people at,
If there's two people at a certain station compared to one, they got two people that getting raised. Like the way fire is broken down, it's broken down. The department is by station. So Engineers Road, I'm saying it only has one person per shift, while East Bank has what, 3 per shift?
Yeah.
So obviously it will go more to the East Bank compared to, well, it's just, everybody's getting across the board the same raise. It's just based on how many people are in within. Yes, correct. 6% across the
6%.
board.
I just couldn't understand.
Yeah.
So when you got, the first one, you said 20,000, that's more than one person.
Correct. That's the superintendent, the Miss Veronica and Mr. Coleman.
Thank you.
any other comments? Machines open. Passes 8-0.
M, an ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvement plan repairs Diamond Park project and otherwise. N, a resolution ordering and calling an election to be held in the parish of Plaquemine, state of Louisiana, to authorize the rededication levy and collection of a special sales and use tax therein, and making application to Louisiana State Bond Commission and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Councilmember LaFrance.
Mr. LaFrance offers there a second. I'll second. Any comments from the audience?
Arthur Henry, could you explain to the public what this about? What this does?
I'll cue in. Ms. LaFrance.
What it does, it takes the 1 cent sales tax that currently the fire department has been receiving to reallocate it 50% to the ambulance service and 50% to the fire department. And this is to put it on the ballot so the people can vote for it. Either they can vote for it or vote against it.
Well, the people voted for that 1 cent tax for the fire department. I think it should be kept that way.
Any other comments from the audience?
Well, welcome again. It's Jonathan Butcher, 216 Good News, Bell Chase. In reference to this rededication of 50%, I do appreciate the opportunity to speak today regarding the proposed reduction of the 1% sales tax and the impact it will have on the Plaquemine Parish Fire Department and the public safety services we provide each and every day. Unfortunately, I must express my serious concern that reducing this funding source will be detrimental to the fire department and the safety of our community. At this time, the fire department is already operating at minimum staffing levels. Our firefighters continue to do an outstanding job with the resources available, but we have reached a point where reductions would directly impact our ability to provide adequate emergency response covering the parish. If this tax reduction moves forward, we may be forced into making decisions that no department ever wants to face. Reality, layoffs, station closures. These are not scare tactics. They are the reality of what reduced funding could mean for emergency service in Plaquemine Parish. When staffing levels decrease, stations close, response times increase. That means longer wait times for residents, experiencing house fires, medical emergencies, vehicle accidents, and other critical incidents. In our line of work, minutes matter. And delayed response times can mean the difference between life and death. I also want to address the financial projections tied to this ordinance. Ordinance estimates that the sales tax collections could reach approximately 15 million. However, based on current trends and projections, we believe that in 2026, collections could potentially fall below 10 million. Right now, we're averaging about $700,000 to $800,000 a month. If you go on to $800,000, you're looking at 9.6 million.
The fire department has worked hard to be fiscally responsible. We continue to prioritize employee safety, operational readiness, and maintaining reliable emergency services for our residents. We're not asking for luxuries. We're asking for the ability to continue providing the level of protection that our community depends on. Public safety should remain one of the parish's top priorities. The men and women of this department put their lives on the line every day for this parish, and they deserve the staffing, resources, and support necessary to perform their duties safely. I respectfully ask each and every one of you to please carefully consider this legislation being produced. Thank you.
Clarence Brockman, 56 in the Kimberland. I agree with Superintendent Butcher. If we cut the funding down in half, the parish going to go back to and depend on volunteers. And I'm going to tell you like it is, volunteers, it's hard to find right now. They're working. They got a lot of reasons why they don't be volunteers anymore. So we need the funding. So if you cut it in half, we're gonna set ourselves back. Thank you.
Corey Hill, 111 Court, Belchase. Council, I'm here to respectfully express my strong opposition to the proposed legislation that would redirect 50% of the dedicated sales tax revenue currently supporting parish-wide fire operations to fund emergency medical services. This dedicated funding is essential for maintaining competitive employee salaries and benefits, preserving and upgrading fire stations, infrastructure, and replacing outdated fire apparatus and equipment. Diverting half of these crucial resources without a comprehensive, well-developed plan from experienced professionals risks severely undermining the operational effectiveness of the Plaquemines Parish Fire Department. Such a move would not only harm the fire department, but also place the safety and well-being of residents and communities we serve at a greater risk. This legislation does not provide voters with a clear, direct voice regarding the future of emergency medical services in Plaquemines Parish. Instead, it complicates the issue and risks confusing the electorate. Several years ago, a dedicated tax proposal for EMS was placed on the ballot as straightforward yes or no vote. Although it narrowly failed, that measure offered transparency. In contrast, the current proposal appears designed to obscure the full impact of revenue redirection, including the negative consequences for fire protection services. Furthermore, sales tax revenue is inherently variable and difficult to predict with precision. The estimated $15 million figure should be viewed with caution, as actual collections can fluctuate significantly. I fully support the men and women of the EMS department in their efforts to secure a stable, dedicated funding source. However, this goal should not be achieved by compromising the financial stability of the fire department, which would simply create a new problem elsewhere. For the past 17 years, the dedicated professionals of the Plaquemines Parish Fire Department have served this parish unwavering commitment and excellence, often under challenging conditions. Many of our fire stations are aging and in a state of significant disrepair, with some continuing to experience leaks during heavy rain. Despite these long-lasting infrastructure deficiencies, our personnel consistently deliver exceptional service to the community. We cannot overlook the difficult period between 2015 and 2021, when budget constraints led to serious challenges, including the inability to perform necessary maintenance on vehicles and equipment, and even proposed 17 layoffs. During this time, dedicated fire funding was redirected to EMS. While we acknowledge the current temporary budget surplus driven by LNG related revenues, this windfall is not permanent. We will wisely use this period to rebuild our infrastructure and modernize our equipment and strengthen the department from long-term sustainability. I urge you not to allow this proposal to move forward under this premise that it benefits both I urge you not to allow this proposal to move forward under this premise that It benefits both departments and the residents of Plaquemines Parish. Instead, I respectfully request that you vote no on this legislation. Let us work together to develop and present a clear, dedicated millage to the voters, one that includes robust public education, transparent information, and opportunities for meaningful community input. Thank you for your time and consideration on this matter.
Any other comments from the audience? Administration?
You know, we do need a funding source for EMS, but I just don't believe we're ready to. What is the numbers that we're looking for? We're trying to explore ideas in a direction for EMS right now. So I just don't think we're ready to do this to our fire tax right now. So I can't support it in its form.
Any other comments from the administration? Mr. LaFrance?
I'm done.
Reverend Edwards?
Yeah. Again, the gentleman just talked about a clear, direct voice and working together. I know that was a period of time after Hurricane Katrina where the fire department and EMS supposed to come together. And I don't think that really helped. My concern is that you have a department with a $66 million reserve. And the ambulance, while fire is important, but I know people utilize the ambulance more than they use the fire department. We don't have areas that don't have any ambulance whatsoever. They moved the ambulance from the East Bank and we don't have no protection. And I just think, to me, is that if we bring a clear, direct voice to the community, then they should make that decision. I don't think they really understand all of what's happening with funding, and I just think there's a really imbalance between the amount of money that the fire department has and the EMS. And again, I understand the fire is important, but I know people utilize the ambulance more than the fire department any given day to save their life, And so again, I would much prefer if the ambulance, the fire department comes and say, look, we don't agree to 50, but we agree to 30 or something. But I just think we just cannot have this. It's totally unbalanced. And I don't think anybody, I know me personally, understand the importance of fire protection. So we're not dealing, but I just think that we need to put more money in the ambulance. I love the fact, and I thought even before I councilman, it was a great thing to see both people working there. But there's something that's stopping the fire department and EMS coming together. I think if they would come together, then we can look at this dedicated fund where they can sort of saying X amount to go this because they're working as a team. To me, I can't understand why they're separate. Because if something happened, when most things that happen, when somebody have a medical, before the ambulance come, the fire department is usually there. They're usually the one helping getting people out of the houses because they don't have enough people. So I just think that we need to do that same kind of relationship with the funding. And so again, I'm supporting this going to the voters because I don't see the ambulance and the fire department offering any alternative to this. I hear what the administration is saying. If you don't agree to the 50, that I don't see nobody say, well, let's give 20. But I just think that, when you see a $66 million unreserved and the ambulance is struggling, that's imbalance. That's imbalance. And I just think that the voters need to, as the gentleman saying, there should be a clear, direct voice to the voters where they understand what's happening and how the fire department can work together. To me, I don't see nothing being proposed. If you get this saying that, here's what we can do together to make the fire and ambulance work together. To me, that would be an easy solution. And we go to voters and saying that the money that you give it is going to EMS and is going to the fire department. I'm 100% supporter of this thing because nothing else has been presented to me that makes sense. To me, at least I know that the ambulance service will get some kind of funding. It'll be some kind of life support for them. I yield.
Mr. Schultz?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about funding first of all. This says estimate $15 million a year. That's not accurate. Based on this chart that came, I'm assuming from Ms. Morrell, based on the email and everything, we had 2.281 million March through May, 3 months. Over extrapolated out for the year, that's $9.1 million. $9.1 $9.1 million. We're behind on sales tax. I don't know if anybody else knows that, but we're not behind. But the annual budget for this for EMS is 4.3 million. Revenues for fees right now is 1.8 million. My math was based on the 15 million. Half of that is 7.5 plus the 1.8, $9.3 million they'll be bringing in. That gives EMS a surplus every year of $5 million. A surplus of $5 million. Firefighting fund, 22 million for expenses, 4.9 for capital projects. Right now, at revenue, we're operating at $11 million deficit. Subtract or add in another 7.5 taken away. Now you got $18 million deficit per year. $66 million, 4 years, that's gone. 66 million divided by 18. That's just when it comes to funding. The other issue is, we talked about it earlier on the thing I deferred. We're supposed to be doing a study on what needs to be done to fix EMS. That's what we need to do, is fix EMS and find out what is actually needed to run a proper EMS system. Right now, we don't have that. And you can ask Mr. DeMarco. I've been asking for 3 years, different changes to get EMS operating correctly. Throwing money at them isn't going to fix it if we don't have a plan to fix it. That's what the study was supposed to do, is come up with a plan, figure out what the plan is, how much money is it going to cost. Do we come back later this year and say 25%, 10%? We don't have those answers, and throwing 50% at it and going to the public and saying, go vote for this, but we don't really have a plan. I don't see it passing. It shows poor decision-making and long-term planning if that's what we're doing. And that's why I feel like we're doing is we're just saying, we're just going to throw money at EMS and hope it fixes. EMS wants to do well. They think we don't want to put them under fire. I don't think EMS wants to go under fire, but we need a plan on how to fix it and how much it's going to cost to fix it. But right now, based on these numbers, fire is going to be broken 4 years if we do this. And then we're going to be right back where we were in 2018, where all our stations were falling apart. And we'll have an intro that they have a plan. They have a engineering consultant that said, here's what we need to start fixing our stations. I think it's 31 million, something like that, Mr. Butcher. Just yes or no. How much was it? 21, sorry. So now that's 66 minus 21. So it's even going to be less than 4 years. I can't support it without an actual plan on what we're going to do with this money, because we're basically going to the public and say, hey, vote for this, but we don't really know how we're going to fix it. I yield.
This is your stage.
Yes, I'm not going to repeat a whole lot, but the 1% sales tax, the parish gets the same thing to run a whole parish, that's a blessing for the firemen. But I understand exactly what the fire department goes through and how they, the 22 million I'm looking here, that included a little $8.6 million for fire trucks. Is that every year? Or was that a one-time buy?
Rotate. I mean, we're having to replace fire trucks. I think an average fire truck is what, 1.5 million?
No, I mean, I'm just asking these questions. I got numbers in front of me. We do know, hopefully 2027, the plant kicks off again, and they'll be back to 54 million like 2024 in sales tax revenues. No? Okay. That's what I'm looking at, something on a piece of paper that I just got today. Okay. So, no, I mean,
Can I respond to that really quick?
No, I just want to finish up. So I do agree that we need to take these numbers, look at them, get this study done, and come back to the table after the study's done and get the ideas and figure out maybe it could be a lot smaller percentage if we have to go that route. So that's all I'm saying. I yield.
Mr. LaFrance.
Yes. Some of y'all have that luxury. You have that luxury because you live in the northern end of the parish. If we don't have ambulance service, Plaquemine ambulance service, there's always Acadian or West Jefferson ambulance service available to y'all. But we on the southern end, we don't have that luxury. Now, with the fire department, That was time and time again. We try to get the fire department and the ambulance service to work together. For some reason, didn't want to work together. But again, we say we all one parish, but yet we lacking ambulance service, especially on the southern end of the parish. Now, Mr. Henry, I can understand the way you feel, but you're not in my situation. You don't live where I feel like that. Now, what do you prefer to save? Do you prefer to save your house or a loved one that's laying on the ground or on the floor with a stroke or heart attack, or kids that have an accident way in Booville and we got to wait for ambulance service because the one down the road went up the road already? You know, these are the decisions that we have to make. You understand? This proposal is only to take it out of our hand and give it to the voters. The voters voted for the 1 cent sales tax. They can vote for the split or they can vote against it. But again, it takes it out of our hand. It's not our money. It's the people money. And the people should have the last say. And I yield.
Ms. McCarty.
I understand what Mr. LaFrance is trying to do here. However, a lot of numbers have been thrown around. And I can't make a decision unless I have it in front of me in writing. And I'm not sure we need a company to come in and do the study. I think right now, maybe Ms. Morrell could put together the numbers, because according to what you're saying, Mr. Schultz, that 1% is needed altogether. But I feel for the people in the southern end and the east end. I just can't put this to the public yet because I want to see the numbers, know that what I'm recommending that the voters vote on is appropriate. I yield. Thank you.
Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, again, the only reason why I'm agreeing to this because no plan F came forward. You know, and I just think that, and especially the money that we take in to spend some consultant, that's money we can use out. I just think that both parties got to come together and be honest, you know, and there got to be some compromising on both parts. From my position, this is my humble opinion, it's like that seems like the fire department don't want to compromise, you know, because I'm saying there got to be some compromising on both parts. And I don't think that we need a consultant. I just think that we need to be honest and come together, provide the leadership. Because again, Mr. Hendry, I'll take the position. I know on the east bank of the river, I know the harbor we're at. I mean, I know we had a landmark on the east bank that burned down, you know, and you know, that's caused some serious concern for our community. And so again, I want to make it clear, I would like to see this work, but nobody coming to plan. Now, I don't know if Mr. LaFrance is willing to postpone this and then and see if we can develop a plan to come back. But I just think not to give anything to the EMS. I just think EMS and the fire should be one. If we make them one, we wouldn't even be arguing this issue. And I know, you know, I see the gentleman shaking his head, you know, and my question is why they can't work together. That's my question. Why? You know, why people shake their head when saying bringing both departments together. I still can't understand why there's a shaking the head, why there's a no for bring. And I remember, I want to come, but I know it was crazy day. It was heyday when they're trying to put both of the people in the same building. And I can know from what happened in Port Sulphur, you know. So again, you know, and that's up to Mr. LaFrance. But I just think that if we don't want this to go to the voter, then we need to come up with a plan. Because I cannot just sit by and just saying don't do nothing.
Mr.
I yield.
LaFrance,
Mr.
unless we're pressed for time to get it to the ballot, would you consider deferring this? I tend to agree with Ms. McCarty. We don't have to go out to a consultant or anything, but we can get with Ms. Morrell and come up with some numbers to look at. Maybe we can reduce it from 50% to 20%, 25%. Just do some different figuring and come back to it.
So,
Mr. Schultz.
So a couple things that we're talking about. We're talking about Venture Global. Yeah, they start in 2027, but we're not going to see the uptick in sales tax until at least 2028. Or 2028, yeah, probably. Fire, 90% of our calls are car accidents and medical calls. We're treating people, I think, I don't know, remember who made the comment, what would you rather do, save a house or whatever? I've done CPR on patients before on heart attacks. They came back to life before EMS ever got there. Like and talking about outside services, I've also been on calls where it took 45 plus minutes in Bell Chase because there's no outside units. I get it. We got to fix EMS. Ms. Morrell can do the finances, but what are we basing these finances on? Do we need an additional 2 units? Do we need another unit on East Bank? Probably so. That's what this plan is that I'm asking for, is find out what we need. We need another unit on the East Bank. We probably need 2 more units on the West Bank. 1 in Port Sulphur, 1 in Boothville, 1 and 2 total in Bell Chase. That's probably what we need. And then we can come up with the numbers. We can come up with numbers right now based on what we have, but is that what we need? We're jumping the gun and not figuring out what we actually need, and then go to the voters for either dedicated millage or another sales tax and have a plan. This is what you're going to get. And I'm sure you're going to have all of fire out there helping promote that tax, helping say, go vote for this, getting all fire out there voting for it, because now they know what you're getting. Right now, this is just saying, go to voters, but without a plan. Again, 5 million surplus. What are we going to do with that 5 million surplus every year? Are we going to buy new units? And this council, not once has EMS come to us and asked for something that we denied them. They needed, I think, a replacement unit last year. We went to surplus. The year before, they needed another unit. We went to surplus. Not once did this council say no to something. We just voted last meeting to change positions for EMS. And it cost us a little bit extra, not much, but a little bit extra. But we're giving them funding, but we don't know where the funding needs to go and how to actually fix the problem. And that's all I'm saying is let's get a plan together. Say we need 2 units on the East Bank, 4 units on the West Bank. Here's where they're going to be situated. That means we need 3, 4, 5 more people. Then say, how are we going to fund this? Bam. That's all I'm asking.
Well, with those extra ambulances and people, you ain't going to have a surplus. And I've sat here through 7 budgets. First 4 years, we wasn't as lucky as the last 3 years in having money, but it was always given to us in the budget, ambulance service. The last 3 years, we had budgets given to us with no ambulance, and this board had to put ambulance service in the budget. And like Mr. LaFrance said, y'all, and you might have to wait for ambulances a couple, 45 minutes. If there's one missing in Venice, I got to wait a couple hours. So does that man who had a heart attack have a couple hours to last? I don't think so. And that's where I'm leaving it. Mr. LaFrance.
Yes. But also, Mr. Schultz, we can also say that everything that the fire department came and asked for us, we gave it to them. We just gave them a 6% raise. Reverend Evans, you stated that we lost a landmark building, but more important than that, I'll never forget it. When Mr. Tinson stood up there in front of us and told us he lost his daughter because the ambulance service didn't get there on time. That's the things we have to deal with. You come to the point, either you want to save your house or you want to save that loved one. That's what we got to deal with. That's the hard decision. Talking about fire, I don't care. My house can catch on fire. As long as my family member is not in there, I can rebuild. That's what matters to me. And with that, Mr. Garrett, what is the deadline?
So in order to put this proposition on the ballot, there's two deadlines. There's Secretary of State's deadline, which is hard. You can't, it's July 8th. You have to have a resolution to them, but you also have to go to the State Bond Commission. Their next meeting is June 18th. So you could ostensibly do this resolution at your June 11th meeting and meet that June 18th deadline. Now, there is an outside chance if you did it after, if you did it at your June 25th meeting, the Bond Commission may agree to have an ad hoc meeting to approve you to get you to the Secretary of State by July 8th. They'll generally do that, but you're taking a risk if you don't. But you clearly have enough time at the June 11th meeting to meet the June 18th Bond Commission date, because you have to have your resolution to them so they can vote on it. Then after they vote on it, it has to go to Secretary of State, and that deadline is hard. If you're a day late, it doesn't go on the ballot.
You ready? Can Mr. Edwards go first?
Yeah, Mr. Schultz, I yield to Mr. Schultz.
I get what you're saying. My only question is, I know two meetings ago, he had to read in the record that we were going to bring this up at today's meeting because of publication rules. If we defer this to this meeting, does that have any impact? That's the only question I have.
No, you're good to go.
Okay.
Because you're having it at this meeting, and if you defer it to June 11th.
Okay. I just want to make
so that
sure
people
that
can know to be at this meeting.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there was no impact if we had to republish it and then deadlines.
Reverend Edwards.
And so again, if Mr. France agreed to this, you know, we have to really come together quick. We got to put aside our, you know, political stuff, our geographical stuff. And this is a very serious issue. And so here's a chance for us to correct something that needed to be corrected. And I hope all of us can come together and seriously and look at it from a position. Because again, and Mr. LaFrance can say it any better, it's one thing to lose my house. But it's another thing, I could replace the house, but I can't replace the life. You know, and I hear Mr. Schultz talking about several incidents about people in cars. But the East Bank, I don't even want to talk about how the trouble we have in with poor EMS service. For years, a lot of our relatives died because we had ambulance, didn't have the kind of equipment we had. And it just had the kind of life supporting system a lot of people would be living. The EMS is a very, very serious issue. And I just think we got to be very serious about this. So that's up to you, friend. But I would hope you do it, because I believe in maybe people see the need, maybe the fire department see the need for us to really come together on this as a serious issue and not, you know, play one against the other. But we have to come together to make this work. So I hope if you decide to do this, that the administration, the fire department, and all of this council really come together and don't look at our role in this, but understand how this impact everybody in this parish alive. Because sometimes as politicians, we play politics with everything. This is a very serious issue. It's about life and death. We're talking about life and death if your house burned down, life and death if the ambulance. So this is not nothing we could be playing games about. Nothing at all. So that's up to you, Mr. Fran, you know, whether you want to withdraw it or not. But I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Mr. LaFrance.
Okay. Today, I want to thank everyone for your comment, for your input. I will defer this item till next meeting. Again, thank everyone for your comments. I know everyone is passionate about it.
Thank you for putting it on.
Next item.
An ordinance to amend the 2026 general fund revenue and expenditure budgets and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Jurisich.
Mr. Jurisich offers there a second. I'll second. Any questions from the audience?
Open hand, that was say, okay, Mr. Buck, it's your turn. You're doing a great job.
Any other comments from the audience? Administration, council, Mr. Champagne.
Ms. Buck, can you just tell the people what they're going to be doing? I know it's helpful, but just so we can explain it to our constituents.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this is for levy inspection contract. So you can get our levy inspection
She said a levy inspection contract to inspect the levies. They can't hear you. We need to put a mic on your table. Uh-huh. Any other comments? Machines open. It passed 8-0.
I want grass money.
P, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Waterworks and Sewage Fund operating expenditure budget, Waterworks and Sewage Billing Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer, ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurasich. Any questions from the audience? Administration. Mr. Champagne.
Again, we've all had this discussion whenever we're buying something. Tell us what we're buying, how many. Just saying we're buying computers. We're buying one, we're buying 100.
This was given to me.
We owe it to our constituents, let them know what we're getting. You know?
But didn't we vote for this a couple years ago?
Yeah, we voted for the software. Now
This
they
is
need
to
the hardware
purchase
to-
3 computers for the water billing department.
3?
3. Yes, sir.
We just need to put that in the digest and be a little more comprehensive. Thank you. I yield.
But the Infomark doing the water billing now, they don't have to buy this?
No, it's a labor-only contract.
All right. Any other comments? Machines open. Pass 8-0.
Q, an ordinance to amend the 2026 General Fund operating expenditure budget, Telecommunications Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer, ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurasich. Any comments from the audience? Administration. Council. Mr. Champagne.
Yeah, again, line 7, it says operating expenditure budget was performed. An amendment to the telecommunications department is necessary. Why? Again. it
Air
goes back-
conditioning and heater for the building. It says it right there.
Again, we need to go in a little more granular
I'm-
detail on what we're spending the people's money on here, y'all.
I don't go out and get this. It was given to me by the administration.
Not blaming you, all of us can do a better job. Whenever it gets given us by the administration, I'd ask you, give us a little more granular detail so we can put it out. It makes us not have to sit up here and beat something to death because we know the answer, for one. And number 2, it just makes it clear to the people.
The president gave that directive at our last meeting, so that will be going forward. That was pressed to everybody. These were introductions were kind of preceding that meeting, so we got the message loud and clear.
Thank you.
I don't know which tower, but I'm sure each tower has their own air conditioning and heating system, and it must have went out in one of them. But Mr. Jurasich.
Yes, that's, you're right. You know, with all that equipment in there, they do need to have ACs in those towers because it gets very hot. I know the one in Burris, it was out for quite some time. I don't know if it still is the one in Burris Boat Harbor, but that's what this is for, Councilmember Champagne. It's a must.
Mr. Schultz.
I was just going to ask, I mean, didn't we put a whole bunch of money in buildings, air conditioning repair, like air conditions during the budget? So why wouldn't it just come out of that? I mean, it is a building that we're going to. Why wouldn't it just come out of that?
I was not.
Oh, like we put like $400,000 in air conditions. I mean, okay. I mean, I yield. I was just asking that question.
Any other comments? Question, machines open. Pass 8-0.
R, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Waterworks and Sewage Fund operating revenue budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer, ask for a second. Second by Mr. Edwards. Any comments from the audience? Administration. Council. And why is it coming to us now and wasn't in the original budget? That we pay for this every year?
This is running coming to us. This might come to us.
All right.
Offered this morning about that, And the way this, and maybe Rini can testify, can add to this, not testify, but what happened with this fund coming, because it was a suit, they get the money in increments. So they win one case, they win another case, they get that money, and so it's coming to them. And so the only thing that the finance department has to do is so they can put this in the budget on the item where it's supposed to go at. That's all this is.
Well, like you said, y'all said it's a suit, but it says appropriate, so we appropriate money. And it was never told to me that it was for the chemical settlement. And the water chemical settlement isn't for the water department.
It's the foam settlement that took place.
Yeah, the fire foam, which it ain't made for the water department budget. It's made for our general fund, right? It should go into our general fund, right?
Creative fund.
There is a line.
I didn't bring the settlement agreement, but the proceeds are supposed to be used for water. It's to mitigate any kind of water issues you have. So
That's why.
All right. Any other comments? Machine's open.
Councilmember
It passed 8-0.
10, approval of the minutes from the May 14th, 2026 regular.
Offered by Mr. Newsom, second by Mr. LaFrance. Any questions from the audience, administration, council? Machine's open. And it passed 8-0. Defer 11B.
C, District 7 update levies. D, District 8 update discussion on adding mosquito control to millage and ATV park on Walker Road.
Can you cue in Mr. Jurasich? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I'm gonna defer number one right now, the first item to the next meeting. ATV park on Walker Road. The reason I brought this up was just for the fact that all the trouble, we've been hearing the complaints in the neighborhoods, and the kids have no place to ride. Well, I did talk to Director Witchers, and it is open. The ATV park, motocross park, whatever it is, trails are open on Walker Road. I think we need to look at maybe putting a new sign up that they won't run over this time. And
moving they have a sign next to it that needs to be moved where it's not confusing. It says private property, no trespassing. But not confusing.
but I appreciate that information. I just wanted to get it out for people to hear it so they know it's open and they can use it.
I understand about wanting to do that up there, but I can tell you the one in Bootville, nobody rides on it. Yeah. Motion adjourned by Mr. Schultz, second by Ms. McCarty. Any questions? Machine's open. Yeah. And it passes with 7-1. Let the record show we adjourned at 4 p.m.
all right, y'all take it easy.
Hey, honey. Yeah, I think we need a photo.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly, we need to put a microphone over there.
I don't know about that.